Can Kai Havertz be the striker that gets Arsenal the Premier League title? Can he be the lead striker, put up the performances and the numbers that get Arsenal over the line? I think if you asked this a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't have been sure. I think maybe 2024 form looks great, but what he's done since the last international break, and by the way, he's not playing for Germany his next international break. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's not a serious injury, it's just Dark Arts FC at work. But what he's done since that away performance at Tottenham, all the way through to dragging us over the line against Southampton along with Bukayo Saka, I think he can. The eye test, the performances, the versatility to his play, but now the numbers and the output too are telling me he can do it. What do I mean by that? Let's go into some of the numbers. We're going to start with just looking at what he's done since joining Arsenal, because in 61 games he's got 20 goals and 8 assists. That isn't that impressive. But of course, he played so much of it in midfield. And if I show you that, 33 appearances in midfield with 6 goals and 0 assists, show you that from that position, he might have worked hard. I actually think did some good stuff defensively. He weren't getting the output that we perhaps would have expected from him. You move him up front though, which we've certainly seen mostly in 2024. He's got 26 appearances, 13 goals and 8 assists. That's 21 goals or assists in 26 games. And that is really good output. 21 in 26? That's good. That's really, really impressive. And then what's interesting is that Kai Havertz's numbers are starting to become comparable with the players that we supposedly want to sign, or these strikers that we allude to other clubs having, that we're saying, well, if we had him, we'd win the league. And some of the players that, you know, in Premier League history have been, I don't know, getting to numbers that we're going, well, hold on, Kai Havertz is at an age where he can build to that. What do I mean? Well, let's explore those points in more detail. Now, I can verify these numbers. I will just put this out there now. But at Pure Angles, with this tweet, it said that the highest percentage of games with goals and assists is actually coming from Kai Havertz with 14 in 19. That's a goal or an assist registered at 74%. Let me show you this graphic he's put together as well. And he leads the way ahead of Gyökeres, Harry Kane, Ollie Watkins, Erling Haaland and Osman for the percentage of games in league games where he's got a goal or an assist in those. Now, I haven't been able to verify this, but if that's true, it's looking incredibly impressive. And there was some other stuff coming from at Pure Angles where he said that Havertz compared to Haaland as a striker in 2024 in the league, when you're talking pure non-penalty goals, he's got 19 along with Haaland's 19 as well. Now look, what are we saying here? No, Havertz isn't Erling Haaland. Haaland for me will go down as the greatest Premier League goal scorer of all time. And when you're talking about purely putting that ball in the back of the net, Erling Haaland for me is the best already. And he's probably going to have another couple of seasons of the league tearing it up. But the point is, when I'm bringing this up, is to say that Kai Havertz, again, is probably in conversations that as Arsenal fans we haven't really considered yet. Not in terms of being Erling Haaland, but in terms of being actually playing at a level as a goal scorer that is it's incredibly impressive. Let me show you a little bit more to back that point. The scoring rates for Premier League goals and assists among 3 of the best Premier League strikers. I think Isak, Haaland and Watkins are put up there as the Premier League's best 3 strikers. Kai Havertz is operating at 0.5 goals, 0.5 Premier League goals per game, with 0.8 when you're looking at goals and assists. Haaland, okay, he's a freak at 0.9 and 1.06. But Alexander Isak at 0.6 goals per game and 0.6 goals and assists per game, with Ollie Watkins 0.4 goals per game and 0.6 goals and assists per game. Havertz's output is up there with Watkins and Isak. 2 players, I'm sure if you said to Arsenal fans, would you pay 60, 70, 80 million for those 2? They say yes, because we need a striker who scores goals. Havertz's output is up there with these guys as overall strikers. Now, is it slightly skewed? Yes, because Watkins' last 2 years of form has been significantly better than his first 2 years of form in the Premier League with Villa, when maybe they were in a relegation battle and they weren't quite as good. Alexander Isak has had some injuries and played in a Newcastle side that once got Champions League football, then fell away. So yes, there's context to those stats, but pure numbers, Havertz is looking really, really good on that front and is competing with 2 of the best. Again, maybe not so much Erling Haaland, but 2 of the best in the league that supposedly we want in the club. Now, this is a guy who last season, 24 years old, turned 25 in June. He'll play the rest of his campaign as a 25-year-old. And one of the things I wanted to look into is, when do strikers peak? When do they typically have their best season at what age? And listen, it's not well into their 30s, but it's certainly not before the age that Kai Havertz is at now, when he's not even been a striker most of his career, albeit played a little bit there for Chelsea, played a lot in midfield for Arsenal. So as a 25-year-old, why can't he get better? Again, none of this is me saying, I think Havertz is better than Watkins, I think Havertz is better than Isak, I think Havertz is better than Haaland. No, I don't. I think those 3 are more specialist strikers you can rely on for a goal, a little bit more than Kai Havertz at the moment. But he's starting to open conversations. And that's the point of this video, because he can only get better. Why can he not continue to build on those numbers? And at the age of 25, by the time he's 28, have put in significant goal scoring campaigns in which he's maybe hit a couple 20 goal a season Premier League, tallies. It's possible. Let me show you this, right? The age of the best form for Ollie Watkins, Dominic Solanke and Ivan Toney, 3 players that have recently been targets for Arsenal, with 19, 19 and 20 league goals. Their best goal scoring rates came for Ollie Watkins at 28 years old, at Dominic Solanke at 26 years old, which got him the move to Tottenham for 65 million, and Ivan Toney at 27 years old. Let me look at the Premier League's best ever strikers, some of the best goal scorers in the Premier League ever. Alan Shearer got his best tally at 26, Harry Kane at 24, but then matched that at 29 years old, Wayne Rooney at 26, Andy Cole at 28, Aguero at 26, Henry at 26, Defoe at 28, and Vardy at 28 as well. Now there's other goal scorers I could have mentioned there, but those are some of the best. Look at the ages at which they've hit their best form in the Premier League for goal scoring. Again, do I think Kai Havertz will put himself in the conversation with these guys? No, these are the Premier League greats. But even the greats hit their best, their absolute best, at those slightly later years of 26 plus. Okay, Harry Kane's got a 24 and you get my point. Kai Havertz hasn't hit 26, he's just turned 25. He's not been an out-and-out striker. Why can't he get better? Why can't he continue to improve and develop that confidence and use his stature and everything he's doing to continue just putting that ball in the back of the net for Arsenal, having big moments as Arsenal's lead number 9 and lead us to the title? I think he can do it. I think he can, and again a week ago I wouldn't have been sure, but looking into the numbers, looking at what we did against Southampton, looking at how he performed away at the Etihad, looking at how he performed away at Tottenham, scoring the big goal against PSG, this guy I think can do it, I really do. Which is why I get frustrated when I see this. Let me show you Kai Havertz's pass map for the first hour of the game against Southampton when he was playing in Ødegaard's role in the right 8. Look, so much of his football and his combinations with players coming out on the right hand side. In the final 30 minutes when he moved up front and he got his goal, he was again drifting left a little bit more and combining with everyone. Use someone of his 6'4" frame, who's got some pace about him, who's got a really nice first touch as well, can bring players into play, who works incredibly hard, who's good in the air, and he's actually showing that he's got a really decent finish on him as well now. When you look at the goal against Southampton, when you look at some of the headers against Wolves and PSG, when you look at the goal that put us 3-0 up against Chelsea as well against his former club, these are great finishes. And the way to unlock more of those and get yourself in a position where you're going Kai Havertz in front of goal, you're starting to back him more than you're betting against him, is to just keep playing him in that area, not moving him around and going, well, you're versatile, so we can put you there. Well, you used to be a midfielder, so we can put you there. Let's recognise him as our number 1 striker and treat him that way. Because I think the day we start doing that, in terms of always being in that 11 as a number 9, Arsenal fans that maybe have those doubts will start to change their perception, look at him and go, well, he can be our lead number 9 because look at the output, look at the goals, and I haven't seen him in midfield for 3 months. I think that's what we want to see, though I acknowledge that his versatility is a good thing. Now look, people might say, but we can still get better than him. Okay, maybe. And maybe that's true of a lot of players in our position, in various positions in the Arsenal team. But find someone who works as hard as him, that has the same versatility, that can score goals with his head, can score goals with his feet, that's 6'4", that's at a very good age, and that tactically adopts what Mikel Arteta wants him to do every single game to a T, perfectly. Whatever Mikel Arteta needs him to do tactically, he embraces it. Someone who you can back to put himself about away at the Etihad, away at Tottenham in the North London derby, who gets what those games mean, but also can get you that big goal when you need it at home to Southampton, and you need that goal that opens the scoring against Wolves, that just gets Arsenal going in a game that could maybe be a little bit tight and tense at times. I think that's really hard to find in the market and difficult to replace. Unless you want to spend 120 million on Isak, and I'm never going to complain about that. But I just wanted to put forward there where I think Kai Havertz has just got to a level where he can lead Arsenal to the title. Because the output's there, the all-round game is there, but crucially, because he can get better, and he's getting better, and maybe we need more than just 1 calendar year's worth of form to prove that this is sustainable. But Arteta spent 65 million on him for a reason, and he was our lead striker when the going got tough in the title run-in, putting balls on a plate at Old Trafford for Leandro Trossard as well. Let's not forget that moment in a big game. I don't know. I'm starting to think this guy can absolutely lead us to the Premier League title, and this whole we need a 9, listen, maybe you can explore that in a different way. Maybe you can explore needing a forward in another way. But I think you struggle to find someone who's going to do better than Kai Havertz is doing for Arsenal right now. And if you are, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, everyone. See you all in a bit.